I'm saying hello to you on the beautiful morning of October 21st, 2009 from historic Williamsburg, Virginia. I'm currently on the campus of the College of William and Mary, one of the most historic educational institutions in the United States. I think it's the second oldest university in the United States. And here with me is Nicole, who's been so kind to show me around. And we've had already a tour of this building behind me, the historic Sir Christopher Wren building that dates back originally to 1693. And why don't you give me a little bit more of an idea of the three buildings here right on this quadrangle?
Okay. Well, you can see on the front of the Sir Christopher Wren building, it's gone through several different forms in our history, but it's been restored to its 1716 appearance. And I don't know if you can see them from here, but there are actually bullet holes from the Civil War in the front of the building.
Really? This would be the front of the building?
Yes.
Okay.
And those are from Union soldiers. After the Battle of Williamsburg, they actually had a few too many drinks, decided to shoot bullets into the front of the Wren building and then burn it down. So,
oh no.
Yes.
And it was burnt down?
It was burned down and then rebuilt many years later. Okay. So I'll point out another building. That is the President's House.
Okay.
And that has actually housed all of our college presidents except one who used it as a ceremonial residence.
Ceremonial, so that means the president would live there or just hold functions there?
Well, all of our presidents except one have actually lived in there, physically lived in there. One decided to use it just for meetings, social gatherings, things like that.
And this dates back, this is a restored building or a replica or?
The original building, the foundations are from 1732. Unfortunately, during the American Revolution, it was used by French soldiers after the Battle of Yorktown as a hospital, and it actually burned down during that. So rebuilt immediately after. So 1781, the building dates from.
Oh, so this building is from 1781, so it is definitely a very historic building.
And our current president, President Reevely, actually lives there today with his wife.
Okay, great. Wonderful.
Point out the other building on the other side. This is actually the only original building from our historic campus. It's never been burned down. It's called the Bradford Building.
Yes.
And it housed the college's Indian School. Now, that is one of the 4 schools that were established with our original charter. And it was actually funded by money from the estate of Sir Robert Boyle, a famous British scientist. Okay. And it was used, the original use of the building, the Indian School, trained young Native American boys from the local Indian population in Anglican Christianity and English, just in a typical education. Now, that wasn't intended for these young Native American boys to become translators and ambassadors to between the British and the Native American tribes. So, but the Indians trained from the Bradford School actually kind of turned this around, turned it on the heads of the British, and they actually used it to empower their native tribes. So that worked against the British. It lost funds, so the building's been used for different things throughout the college's history. Today it's the offices of the president and provost.
Okay, so that's what's in there today. Now, when we're talking about the native history of this area, I hear the name Powhatan mentioned.
Yes.
That is the local native tribe, is that correct?
Well, when the Jamestown settlers first arrived here, it was the Powhatan Nation, Indian Nation, and
I think they're part of the Iroquois language group, if I'm not totally incorrect.
They were indirectly related to the Iroquois, but I think it was more Algonquin, which was created to related distantly to the Iroquois. Today, of course, with British expansion, the tribes kind of dissolved and were pushed to the west. Today we do have several different Native American tribes who unfortunately are not federally recognized, but they do have their own cultural situations in Virginia. One of them is the Pamunkey tribe, and various others. So.
Do they have like community centers or history centers or places that people can visit if they're interested in a native history?
That is a very good question. I do not know the answer to that, but I do know they have cultural events throughout the year.
Great. So I can do a little bit further research on that. Wonderful. And maybe if we just have a look in this direction, this is basically a triangle that comes together as a tip here, And I think takes us to the entrance of Merchant Square?
Yes.
Okay.
Merchant Square has lots of little shops. Like Williams-Sonoma, you can see right away. We actually have the college bookstore that's housed in Barnes & Noble down the street. We have a place called the Cheese Shop, which is a favorite of locals and students alike. It sells wonderful sandwiches and just various other cool little shops to go in.
Now the shops are all built in the traditional colonial style. Would they be original buildings or reproductions?
These are actually colonial revival from the 1930s. They were rebuilt while Rockefeller was building his redoing Colonial Williamsburg.
Okay, great. I will come back to you with another clip just briefly explaining the role of John D. Rockefeller in recreating and restoring historical Williamsburg, Virginia, right here from the corner of, where are we here? This must be the end of Duke of Gloucester Street here. Okay. And the college campus of the College of William and Mary in the background.